What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It would help if I looked at the camera, but guess what? It's really raining. I've got to go out to the studio. Wet. Why am I... Oh, it's hardly like I'm going to mess up my hair, is it? Anyway, in we go. Welcome back. Oh, hang on. I've not got my official uniform on. 1 second. And that is better. There we go. Right, I think Pancho is too big for his tank now. Why am I talking like a robot? So just take a look, guys. Right, here's Pancho. He's not too small, but I'd like to give him something big. So I'm thinking about changing all of this. I'm changing this. Ranchu crew, thinking about putting them in a different tank as well. Possibly the newt one. If I can't get any newts, I'm trying one last thing. Waiting for a reply still from someone. If I can get that, great. If I can't, I'm changing everything. So if Pancho is not in his tank, what's going in there? Well, funny you should ask, even though you didn't. I'm thinking it might be a really good place to put Timmy in. Not full term, because he will grow too big for that himself, but it'll be a really good stopgap, and it's something we can do a really cool sort of land area for him to bask in as well. And then it'll free up this tank, because I want to do another. Yes, another. I miss them. I love doing them, okay? No water change, ecosystem tank again. So it's kind of like a variation of a pond tank. It's kind of similar because I get all the emergent growth coming out. I think that'll be brilliant. Let me know if you agree as well. They're really interesting to watch these tanks because they're not normal. The normal rules don't apply because normally to offset or fix anything in the tank, you do a water change. But in a no water change tank, you don't. You have to get the balance just right. And there's something really fun about challenging things like that, for me anyway. So with that in mind, guys, I think it's absolutely worth mentioning that if you plan on getting an animal or a fish that you know is going to grow up to be big, but you can only afford something small to house it initially, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, providing that you are aware that you need to either get a bigger tank as the animal or fish grows, or be prepared to find a new home for it, or have one prepared, or the ability to take it somewhere, whatever, you know. Just plan ahead whenever you get an animal and don't just think, well, I can only afford this size, I'm going with that. I'm of the opinion that it's silly to get a massive tank for like a small baby just because eventually it will be that size. To me, that makes the hobby way more restrictive than it needs to be for some people who want to just sort of get into it. So for instance, I think angelfish is one of those fish. Like, obviously they get really big. People don't want to jump into the hobby with a huge tank, I don't think. Well, that's not what I did, and I'm pretty sure most people don't. But what I think is more likely to happen is that you'll get an angelfish when it's small. It'll be in the right size tank for that size fish, and as the fish grows, you'll be like, oh, well, that's my pet. I don't want to put it anywhere. So you'll upgrade the tank, and eventually you'll end up with a massive tank in your living room. And what could be better than that? Just unfortunate that nowadays I don't get to spend any time in there because I'm always in here making videos, but you know, that's alright. This is pretty cool as well, right? Recently, guys, I was out digging for earthworms to get a nice big dinner for Pancho. You can see him here. Hello, buddy. Anyway, there were no earthworms anywhere. The ground was completely dry, which means they'd obviously gone deeper into the more moist soil. Didn't have the stuff to get them, so I just come back to the house and I googled alternative foods for axolotls. And one of the things that came up was beef. Lean, raw beef. And the reason I wanted to switch it up is just that I don't want to just resort to bloodworms or worms. I thought, what else can we do as a treat every now and again? Because it turns out that raw beef doesn't have the full nutritional profile they need, but it's good as a treat. So let's go chop that up and get it ready for Pancho to have a nice steak dinner. So guys, what you can see here is me cutting up some meat. Yes, I know, pretty boring. But the reason I'm showing you is because you don't just want to cut it up into sort of random chunks or sizes. And what I'm actually trying to do is simulate worms, if you like, so thin strips of meat. I don't know if all axolotls are quite fussy, but Pancho seems to be a bit of a prima donna and seems to have some sort of special shape requirement. Punchy. Right, so I've never actually fed this to Pancho before. Hopefully he likes it. If not, I can always go out and get some more worms or even use the bloodworms as well. So it's worth trying these things. It's worth noting that also that this is not a complete food for axolotls. For some reason earthworms are, but beef isn't. But either way, you know, it's good as a treat. Anyway, let's get this. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, got this cool little thing for all my tools now. I'll leave a link in to the Amazon for it, so I've got an affiliate thing with Amazon, so if you go on there and order anything, I get like a tiny little percentage. But yeah, got all my tools on. Anyway, over here, so we've got a little bit of beef. Let's get a long piece. So basically, I've tried to cut these up so that they look a little bit like worms, and there we go. There's one there. Look. So we put this to Pancho. See what he does. Hang on. It's going to be difficult. Has he seen me? No, I'm just tapping it in the water so he knows it's there. Might not have seen that. They've not got the greatest of eyesights, axolotls. I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up. Come on, Pancho. Come on. Yes! Oh, we got that. Whoa, that's gone. Oh, that's brilliant. Whoa, did you guys see that? It was like, I wasn't expecting him to pounce that quick, because with worms, he can be a little bit funny, and you got a proper dangle it and flick it across his face. But that one, I put it in it, bang, and it went in one go, which is brilliant. So it looks like sort of like an inch and a half is the perfect size for him. Let's try again. Okay, he's come to the front a little bit more. Let's bring it round. Punch, you see it? You see it? You want it? You want it? He's gonna go. He's gonna go. This is what I normally have to do with the worms, you see. You gonna have it? Whoa, whoa, we got that one quick. Did you just see that? Sorry guys, I didn't have you right on centre on him. I was just focusing on him for the minute. Okay, that's good to know. I'm just going to feed him the rest of these then. He loves it. Well guys, an update on the sparkling gourami tank. They are doing great. Just the two in there. Pretty sure we've got a male and a female, and I think that is a male. They've adapted really well. This is a no filter aquarium that I recently set up. I'll leave a link to it somewhere. Everything's going really good. The growth is really good. Daily water changes at the moment still 50%, because obviously there's no filter and the fish went straight in, so it's a fish in cycle. Look that up if you don't know what it is. It's a fully legit method of cycling a tank, providing you're willing to put the work in. And then of course we set up the guppy aquarium you can see behind me. Again, doing great. We're already getting all the gaps starting to fill in now with the Monte Carlo and dwarf hairgrass, so that's fantastic. The tank is popping, fish are popping, everything's popping. Nothing's popping, I don't know why I'm saying that. But yeah, already that moss at the back, look, that's already starting to lighten up massively and get more of that sort of lime greeny colour on it, instead of the dark green it was from the low lighting in the plant storage tank. The tank's coming on really nicely. I'm looking forward to giving it its first trim and replant. And if you remember, a good few months ago we put Vlad, the vampire shrimp, into the Rainbow River Aquarium. Probably seen him 2 or 3 times since then, and I thought he was gone, if I'm honest, but I've just found him. Now, I'm not sure. There he is. There you go. You can, I think you can see there, guys. Can you? If my reflection wasn't in the way. Let me try and do the old finger thing. Behind my finger now. That is his cave, which is really annoying because I can barely see in it and I can't see him too much, but he's happy, I guess. Obviously feeding. He's always got his little paws coming out of there. Yeah, just doing that. I say always, I mean, like I say, I've seen him twice, but he is always doing that. And then in last episode, obviously we set up this really, really simplistic, minimalistic, stylish nano aquarium for my shrimp. Some people hated it. Some people said they thought it was really cool. So that's what it's all about. Let's divide opinions. Let's do stuff that's not usual, not normal. One of the comments was, I think you should put it in the middle like stuff usually is. And I was just like, why? What's the point of me just doing everything in here normal like it usually is? I mean, it's boring. I don't want to be boring. I want to be different. I want to try new stuff. So yeah, just try different things, guys. I think you should do the same. But the shrimp are actually looking great. Look, that's why I wanted this, so I could see the shrimp. And I can see, you know, at the moment we've only got a few down in the bottom section, and they're all covering this piece of wood and the trident fern as well. And in the last video as well, someone was asking me for an update on the bowl aquarium. Here it is. I've completely left it alone, basically. All I've done is added some of this mini water lettuce in the top. But the UG, look, after a rough start from it, to be honest, after the snails are just ripping it all up, it's in, it's grown, fully carpeted that front area. No filter, no water changes, cheap desk lamp, UG growing. So today is the day that I'm supposed to be receiving angelfish and 𝐃𝐎𝐍 some cories, that sort of thing, for the angelfish aquarium you can see behind me. Now hopefully that is happening, but like I've said before, courier services at the moment are a bit hit and miss. You know, they can take certain amounts, not other amounts, so if the shipments are large they'll have to leave some behind, blah blah blah. You guys don't need to know about that. All you need to know is that I am trying my best. So is the company that I'm getting the fish from, so hopefully, fingers crossed, next video will be some fish coming in. If it isn't, you'll know there's a problem. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys, about making another no water change ecosystem aquarium. and then we can take Timmy across. We can put Timmy into this tank and do something really cool. I mean, it looks great, don't get me wrong, but you know what I like to do? When something's looking its best, we break it down. On to the new stuff, right? Completed it. Once you completed it, move on, start again. And then I suppose the same thing goes for the 𝐅𝐎𝐑𝐆𝐄 cruise tank. I mean, this looks how I envisioned it now. Envisioned it. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah. This looks how I envisioned it now. Oh, it's so hard to say multiple times, but I pictured it. I pictured it as being like full moss everywhere. That's what we've got. It looks great. Maybe it's time to do something completely different. Maybe a like completely just hardscape tank that makes the fish pop like crazy. Massive loads of green floating plants and just hardscape. I think that would look immense. What do you think about that? But again, like I said, if I can get the noops, I will do something. We'll do something cool. Really struggling. I'm still waiting for that message back from several companies. It just doesn't seem to be happening. Everything's sold out or not even there anymore. So what I'd really like to do essentially then is put the 𝐅𝐿𝐑𝐆𝐄 crew into this cube. Essentially it's a cube because it's 600, 600, 600. So not essentially, but exactly. And we could do like a really cool like hardscape only island 360 sort of type of thing with really cool floating plants. I reckon that would look absolutely awesome in that tank. And the point of putting those over there would mean that then this would be a lot longer for Pancho to swim backwards and forwards in. Because this one, at the moment, he's at that size now where if he swims one way, bump into the edge. Swims the other way, bump into the edge. You know, he doesn't swim too much, don't get me wrong, but it would be nice for him to have the option. Because if you remember, this tank here, that the Rainbow River is in, is a 4-foot tank, and that used to be all his, and he used to go backwards and forwards in that. Alright, quite slowly, but he did like to do that. Eventually he will be in another 4-foot tank. If we can keep putting on the sort of size that he's getting now, definitely we'll be doing that because it was really good to see, right? But that being said, he is really happy in this tank. It's not hurting him at all, and just look at this growth now. Like I've said to you guys before, all of this was just moss. There was not a single plant in there at all. Now we've got all these beautiful little plants coming through. I did see a blue one the other day. Yeah, there's like a blue plant coming out of that one as well. So that is really nice to see. I mean, technically, these are all just weeds, but what beautiful set of weeds, aren't they, eh? So basically, all in all, guys, we have got tons and tons of stuff coming up. We've got loads of plans, loads of things going on. There's a few things in the pipeline as well that I can't talk about at the moment because it's still just first ideas, first drafts, that sort of thing, but it's big, it's great. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you click the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.